Wir wussten damals nicht, was es ist.
At the time, we didn't know what it was. I don't think we really appreciate how our understanding of the internet keeps changing so radically. During the 1990s, the masses discovered the World Wide Web, a completely new world. Jeanette Hoffman, director of the Institute for Internet and Society at the Humboldt University in Berlin, has been looking for answers to some complex questions. How can we all get along together on the World Wide Web? How can we use it? And what are the potential risks? On the one hand, it's about protecting our rights. On the other hand, people want to know that their security on the internet is guaranteed. The European Union's Charter of Fundamental Rights guarantees everyone freedom and security. But what does that mean? Basically, the same goes for the internet as elsewhere. Human rights are valid offline and online. Of course, there are specific things that are important on the internet. For one, the question of free expression, which is certainly the most important. The question is, to what extent is the internet a means of communication that can help people inform themselves politically and to organize politically? Liberation movements in Libya, Egypt and Azerbaijan. The internet enables the world to learn about them in a flash, and democratic processes are accelerated. But how are autocratic states responding to it? You could call the internet the turbo of the human rights and liberations movements in these areas, but at the same time, it's a terrible weapon in the hands of the suppressor states who use the internet by persecuting people who express their opinions on the net. How should politicians and diplomats in democratic nations position themselves in debates about human rights? How should global companies like Google or Facebook behave when it comes to human rights? Not just in China and Iran, but in Europe as well. Because they're so big and so many people use these social networks, it's really important to look at whether users' rights are being respected and whether they might be limited by those companies' terms and conditions. A free, open and secure internet. An internet that helps defend human rights. That's the goal. How to achieve that? The conference on the 13th and 14th of September in Berlin will provide some answers and probably throw up more questions.